Hello and welcome to Rock, Paper, Shotgun. I know a fair amount about working under a brutal dictator. My fellow video person Matthew is a cruel leader, which is why I feel right at home in Tropico 6. It's currently out in beta and due to be released in January 2019, and I've recently had a hands-on with the latest build. I'm here to quickly zip you through the new additions in Tropico 6, as well as some returning ideas that are getting revamped. Let us know what you're looking forward to in Tropico 6, and if you do enjoy this video once you've watched it, please do give it a like and subscribe to Rock Paper Shotgun for more videos like it. That's a request, not a mad dictator's order. Let's kick things off with some of the basics you can expect in Tropico 6. There are 15 mission maps, each map tells its own story and features in its own scenario. Now, jumping into the first map I was shown, the Bureaucracy map, which has multiple islands, an archipelago situation where each island are different sizes with different altitudes. This map comes with a Caribbean theme with a clear emphasis on infrastructure and public transportation. If the idea of separate islands worries you, you can easily connect islands by building bridges to each island with ease. With new maps comes new buildings, starting off with bus garages where you can define the start and end position of bus stops. But they are already getting feedback. People want multiple bus stops, like in city skylines. Another new building is the parking deck, which allows people to jump into vehicles and get to work. Both new buildings decrease travel times from one island to another, as buildings don't function unless people are actually working at them, like real life. This video can't be made if I'm not sitting at my desk. If you look at these power plants over here, you can see they're not really functioning because people aren't actually at work. They could be down the pub, they could be at church, or they could be increasing any number of their other needs. Each Tropican has different needs they need to fulfill. Fun, for example, means they will leave work when it is low and go to a bar to get it higher, meaning travel is important here too, so they can fulfill needs like grabbing something to eat or going to church. The quicker they can do this, the quicker they can get back to work. You can now build tunnels, use them to create shortcuts or reach areas that are secluded. No need to go via sea if you don't want to, but this is all tied to the era system. The era system, for those who don't know, was introduced in Tropico 5 and gives you different timelines to play with. The Bureaucracy map is quite far through the eras and has nearly all buildings, but in the starting and early eras you'll need to build up your empire with good economy and cities, so not all buildings are available. In earlier eras you may have needed to use a boat to get to this area, but as you get further along you'll be able to build a tunnel to the same area for faster transport times. Another new mode of transport is cable cars, which allow level designers to play with elevation. Maps are no longer mostly flat. Cable cars allow players to reach higher grounds, for example to reach a tourist attraction on the top of a mountain. They can also use it to connect different islands to each other and then even link that to a bus route, for example, to allow easy travel around the island. You can now customize El Presidente's palace with different carpet types, wall colors and objects. Do you want a shark tank on your roof or a hologram of El Presidente? Obviously all very over the top, but what else would you expect from El Presidente? In multiplayer you can then show off the progress you've made and what items you've unlocked. Everybody loves some good bragging rights. You can also change how it's laid out and can also move where the palace is, so it's handy to relocate it if you're running out of space. New to Tropico 6 are raids and heists, where pirate coves allow you to get access to the raid screen. You can send out Tropicans to roam and steal landmarks and world wonders, which will trigger certain quests to successfully heist a building. You have to be careful though, as pirates could rebel and may have requests before they'll finish their mission, such as more rum. I don't know about you, but I don't think being drunk helps your efficiency at your job. The landmarks and world wonders that these pirates can bring back to your island serve as tourist attraction sites, bringing in even more revenue. Each world wonder has a unique gameplay feature and you can use some of these to your advantage. For instance, with St. Basil's Cathedral, their faith happiness is directly in charge of how happy they are in their other needs. If they lose faith happiness, some of their other happiness levels are affected in the same way. But if you keep the budget up for the cathedral, then you only have to worry about their religion happiness in order to keep the others high. Not all maps look the same. Here we are looking at the Shackland map, where there are lots of differences compared to the last map. More desert, more canyons, and lots of shacks, obviously. We'll get to those in a moment. This map shows experimentation with different biomes. Not everything looks lush and Caribbean. There is also a lot of landmass that is directly connected, rather than separate archipelagos, like we saw on the last map. Here is where I learned more about building efficiency and how to adjust efficiency with certain buildings. There are many types of plantation on this island and a couple of work modes that help you choose how efficient they are. The two work modes I saw were monoculture and multiculture, and they exist to help the plantations get efficiency boosts. Mono is the same neighbours, multi is next to different neighbours, and these will help efficiency even if fertility is low. There are helpful fertility overlays which help you decide where to plant your various crops. However, if you need something but don't have enough fertility for it, you can always import it. But you will have import prices that change what the worth is. You want me to pay how much for some bananas? I don't even like bananas. Shackland's map is interesting, as the abundance of shacks means that the player is faced with a new challenge. The residential buildings are locked, meaning the citizens are having to live in shacks, and so their happiness with housing is very low. In this mission, there is an emphasis on increasing happiness in other categories to compensate for the low housing happiness. Which leads me on to the return of election speeches. In these, you must be careful with what you acknowledge. For example, in Shackland, it would not be wise to acknowledge the housing crisis. You can blame a superpower for all your problems, but be careful as those superpowers will get annoyed and could attack. And this is the same with various factions if you blame them. Make sure their satisfaction levels don't drop too low, as they could give you an ultimatum which would probably lead to a rebellion if you fail them. Be careful though, you will get demands based on what you promised, and will then need to fulfill those demands to get the satisfaction up. You don't really want a rebellion, as cool as it sounds. The Broker is a new character coming to the game which allows the player to react to different situations. Gives you the option to do things such as a convincing talk to avoid particular demands. He costs Swiss money. Swiss money is El Presidente's private bank account, so the Broker is a new way on how to spend this money in meaningful ways. Swiss money also means you can get additional immigrants and knowledge points or raid points. Knowledge points you can usually get from the library, but the Broker allows you to react on short notice. The Broker comes with only 4 options to begin with. You have to pay to unlock more, and it costs to refresh if none are suitable, or if you have used too many options up. Everything you get from the Broker are fleeting modifiers, helping you to react to short-term situations, but nothing long-term. Prisons are another way for you to create money, but this time from criminals. By setting up a penal colony, you'll increase immigration rate, but this comes with a chance of them turning criminal, which leads to your police stations needing the correct work mode, as they'll need to be set up to arrest these criminals. Switch police work modes to live and let live to increase Swiss money. You're also able to change the prison work mode to decrease efficiency but increase revenue. By looking at the economy almanac, you can see where you're getting your revenue, and it seems like this El Presidente is making a pretty penny from convicts. Finally, a quick look at the chocolate factory map, which focuses on chocolate production. You'll only really need cocoa and sugar, meaning you'll need to check the crop conditions overlay to see local value. You can see the number changing in the top right, showing you how good this land is for the specific product. This map is here to guide the player a teeny bit to have them explore different islands. And there we have it, all of the lovely stuff coming to Tropico 6. Are you excited to get back into the wonderful and morally shady world of Tropico? Or are you completely new to the series? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, why not give it a like and subscribe to the channel? Ring the bell if you want to be kept in the loop, and why not watch some of our previous videos such as our Divinity Original Sin 2 Let's Play, or me running you through the best Sims 4 expansion, game and stuff packs. Hope to see you soon!